Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Grossball and welcome to the JesseAF show. Today is Friday, March 29th, 2019, episode 47 of my daily podcast. Yeah, that's right, daily. That means every single day I'll be posting a new episode. So please check in tomorrow for my next episode. I'm on Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So if you have any of those platforms, please consider subscribing. That way you get notifications for whenever I post a new episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about something interesting, something that I don't really think about that often, but it's definitely something that I constantly do. And it's not exactly the worst thing in the world, but it kind of is bad. And the topic is giving up. And giving up is so broad, it's so large. There's so many ways you can give up. You could give up on life, which I don't do. I don't give up on life. You could give up on people. You could give up on games. You could give up on jobs. You could give up on work in general. There's a lot of different things you could give up on. And that could be drawings too. And for me, I tend to look at giving up as, well, in the sense of games and doing different little side projects that I'm working on. So giving up to me is an opportunity that I'm giving myself to reevaluate myself, to look at the situation in a different light, and to really figure out what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what problems I'm running into and why I ran into those problems. And it's really interesting when you think about it, because giving up is always looked at as such a bad thing. It's like you don't want to give up because you don't want to be looked at as a failure, right? But failing is a very common part of life. And if you don't fail, you don't learn. And I look at it that way. So I learn from every single time I give up. But at the same time, I'm not entirely giving up. I do have faith. I do go back. And when I say give up, I mean give up on that little project, or give up on that form of that little project. And when I say that, I mean, so let's say I have a game that I'm working on, and I'm building a city in this game, and the city's going good, right? It's going good. And I run into a really big issue. So, let's say, for instance, in this city, I have a lot of sick people that are not being tended to, or I have a lot of traffic that is not being resolved easily. I have water crisis, whatever it is. So I would look at it and I would be like, is this too much to go through, to analyze every little part of the city, comparative to starting over on this city, or trying a different way of creating the city, a better way? And generally, I tend to choose the way of, closing out that game and then reopening the same game, but from scratch. So I keep going back to the drawing board, basically. And that's giving up, in a sense, because you are basically giving up on that city, but you're reinvesting your time back into that city so that it could be more productive. You're more in tune with what can go wrong and how to kind of account for that and try to plan ahead. That way your city runs a lot better and a lot cleaner. That way things work better. And And I tend to look at giving up like that. So if a drawing was just not going right and it just didn't work out, I could erase the whole thing, or I could crumple it up into a ball and throw it in the garbage, and that'd be it. But I wouldn't quit. I wouldn't quit on getting to that point, getting back to that point. I would go back and I would draw it again. And I would go all the way back to the drawing board. Giving up on that type of sense is not failing. Sure, you do fail in a sense. You do fail at drawing it correctly the first time. But nobody ever gets anything done perfectly on the first try. It always takes more than one try to get there. With different CEOs, they've gotten to that successful point in their life because they've had failures. They've lost businesses. They've went bankrupt before. They've gone into millions of dollars in debt because they failed. And it's those of us who fail and choose to get back up and retry that really show off who is the winner and who is the loser. The losers are the ones that don't try it again. But at the same time, maybe they found out that what they were trying to do wasn't exactly what they liked doing. In that sense, you wouldn't be a loser. You would just be smarter. You would have found out your answer, the answer that you were searching for. I went to college for graphic design. I gave up on the degree because it wasn't me. Sure, I can do graphic design very well. I can create logos. I can do anything in graphic design, I guess you could say. And at the same time, it's not really the most fun thing I could do. I don't enjoy doing graphic design for money. And understanding that about yourself is not a failure. It's a success. It's a move in the correct direction. If you keep trying to do something that just isn't working, and it just won't work for you. If you are 5'5" and you're trying to dunk in a basketball hoop, you can try as much as you want, but it will never happen unless you become this super jumper. There's a point there. You can try and you can fail. You can give up on those problems. You can give up on the different things in your life. But it's a way of life. And when you realize that that thing is just not working out, giving up is probably the best thing you could do. Because you're not going to be wasting your time on it if you give up on it. On the other side of things, if it is working, if you are good at it, but it's just not the right time, it's also good to give up. Because giving up, the ability to give up on something, it shows. It's a sense of maturity and intellect when you give up. It's almost like, I know I'm not ready yet. I know I don't know enough yet about that to actually do it correctly. So I'm going to give up right now. But I might actually do it 20 years from now, 5 years from now, an hour from now, whatever it is. Because you are giving yourself the opportunity to grow and to learn about that thing. Giving up, it's a bad thing. If giving up means that you are just taking the easy way out and saying, I don't know. It's fun, but it's not working because I keep on running into the same problem. I'm not going to try and learn how to solve that problem. I'm just going to give up. Lost potential. You can learn anything in this world. And when you learn something, it goes a long way. If I'm having trouble creating a city with good traffic, good order, maybe I'm going to go on YouTube and search how to make traffic better in your city. There are so many simulations out there that you can go to see how things work. So when I give up, I search on the internet how to do it better. It's those of us who seek to learn how to do it better, that succeed when they give up. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I know I did. It's a normal thing to give up on things. It's so normal. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. You just have to get right back on it, and you have to try and learn a different way to do it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.